Vietnam Weekly News Highlights. Real estate prices expected to increase next year. Aviation authorities proposes full resumption of domestic flights from 2022. Overseas remittances estimated at $18.1 billion despite pandemic. Japanese business giants' expansion in Vietnam. Vietnamese trade turnover likely to hit $645 billion this year. The supply's low, while market demand still high, makes experts forecast that the uptrend in real estate prices will continue next year. This forecast was made by experts at a recent seminar on solutions to recover the real estate market. Nguyen Van Dinh, Deputy General Secretary of the Vietnam Real Estate Association, said, in 2022, the trend of real estate prices may continue to increase at a high level because of low supply due to the bottleneck of investment procedures, and the demand is being maintained, maybe even stronger. Data from the Ministry of Construction also shows that, up to now, the new supply to the market is only half that of last year. The Civil Aviation Authority of Vietnam has proposed the resumption of normal operations on all domestic routes from the beginning of 2022 after months of disruptions due to COVID-19. According to the proposal submitted to the Ministry of Transport, the number of two-way flights on Hanoi Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi Da Nang, and Ho Chi Minh City Da Nang routes will be increased to 16 per day per route during December 1st to 14th, and to 20 per day per route from December 15th to 31st. Meanwhile, the number of two-way flights on other routes will be no more than 9 per day per route. The World Bank and the Global Knowledge Partnership on Migration and Development forecast that remittance to Vietnam is estimated at $18.1 billion in 2021. As such, the country will be the 8th largest remittance recipient in the world and the 3rd largest in the Asia-Pacific region this year. In 2020, Vietnamese abroad sent $17.2 billion back home. According to estimates from the World Bank's Migration and Development Brief released recently, remittances to low- and middle-income countries are projected to have grown a strong 7.3% to reach $589 billion in 2021. This return to growth is more robust than earlier estimates and follows the resilience of flows in 2020, when remittances declined by only 1.7%, despite a severe global recession due to COVID-19. Japanese companies, including retailer Aeon and energy firm ENEOS, have told Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh that they want to expand their investments in Vietnam. The country's business environment is improving and Japanese companies have confidence in their Vietnamese operations, the heads of major companies told Chin in Tokyo Tuesday. Aeon, with 6 malls in the southeast nation, has invested $1.18 billion in the country so far, and its chairman, Motoyo Okada, said it wants to double the number of malls. Aeon could expand its business and source products from several localities like Ton Hoa, Nan, Quang Ninh, Haiphong, Anjiang, and Qianjiang, he said. ENEOS, one of the biggest energy firms in Japan, and with annual revenues of $70 billion in Vietnam, wants to expand its investment. Japan was the 3rd biggest foreign direct investor in Vietnam in the first 10 months, behind Singapore and South Korea, with a registered capital of nearly $3.4 billion, accounting for 14.3% of total, according to the Ministry of Planning and Investment. Vietnam's total import-export turnover is anticipated to reach between $640 billion and $645 billion this year, with the country set to enjoy a trade surplus, according to the Ministry of Industry and Trade. These achievements can primarily be attributed to the great efforts made by numerous enterprises, which have overcome challenges caused by COVID-19 in order to both maintain and restore production activities. Most notably, a number of major industries such as garments and textiles, as well as leather and footwear, have fulfilled their targets ahead of schedule, despite being negatively impacted by the pandemic. The ministry pointed out that industries will be able to regain the growth momentum from now until the end of the year, potentially reaching the same level as before the pandemic. Hanoi Weekly News Highlights. 99% of businesses in Hanoi plan to use e-invoices. Sapa to Hanoi Highway gets finishing touches. Hanoi studies to organize 14 priority lanes for buses. With over 99% of businesses and associations in Hanoi planning to use e-invoices, the city is determined to further push for this new method to ensure a transparent and fair business environment. Chairman of the Hanoi People's Committee Chu Nak-on stressed the view at the launch of the pilot e-invoice management system on November 21, with Hanoi among the 6 localities joining the initiative. According to On, this is one of the key steps towards the modernization of tax management that would directly impact the business environment and national competitiveness. A highway of 13.8 kilometers is being completed to connect Sapa with Noi by Lao Cai Expressway by next year, costing VND 2.5 trillion, $110.3 million. The highway is connected to Noi by Lao Cai Expressway, which links Hanoi with the northwest province of Lao Cai, home to popular tourist town Sapa. After a year of construction, the highway's first phase has been basically completed and is set to open to traffic within the first half of 2022. In addition to maintaining the priority lane for the Kim Ma Yen Nia bus rapid transit route, from now to 2025, Hanoi will organize 9 priority lanes and 5 lanes in the period 2026 to 2030. In a recent document, the Hanoi People's Committee said that from the advantages of the bus rapid transit route, the city will evaluate, study and propose to organize priority lanes for buses on the route with many lanes, large number of routes and bus traffic, suitable for traffic organization. With the above criteria, from now to 2025, Hanoi will study and organize 9 priority lanes for buses, including Nguyen Tre Tran Phu, Ha Dong, Phap Van Jai Phong Dai Co Viet, Nguyen Van Siu No Gia Tu, Pham Hung Quat Due Tien Linh Dam, Hong Quoc Viet Tran Due Hung, Xe Dan, Vo Chit Song, and Vo Van Kiet route. In the period 2026 to 2030, the city will have 5 more routes to be studied and prioritized for buses, including Non Ho Tung Mao, Nok Hoi Thuong Tin Bus Station, Tran Due Hung Hoa Lac, Mai Din Noi by Airport, Thuong Tin Phu Chien along the Old National Highway 1.
Hochiminh Weekly News Highlights.
Ho Chi Minh City businesses managed to overcome COVID-19 woes. Ria-Vung Tau emerges as an attractive investment destination for Australian businesses. Over 96% of companies in Ho Chi Minh City's industrial zones resume production. Ho Chi Minh City, neighbors seek $3.67 billion state support toward Ring Road. For more metro trains to arrive in Ho Chi Minh City from Japan. Some Ho Chi Minh City businesses have been able to shrug off the difficulties caused by COVID-19 and achieve their targets thanks to thorough preparations. DLG Anson Electronic Company has been able to fulfill its contracts despite the pandemic and even got plenty of new orders from satisfied customers. Dang Song Bin, director of the company, told Tuoi Tre Youth newspaper that many overseas customers had been greatly worried about whether the company could fulfill its orders, and so it had to prove to them production had not been interrupted. We had to live stream our staff working normally and being healthy and show that we had abundant materials to sustain production to put our partners at ease. After the city began to reopen, the company started paying for more worker shifts to increase its production. The company also prepared for global supply chain breakages by stocking up on raw materials months beforehand, allowing it to continue production throughout the pandemic. Workers feel at ease since they are all fully vaccinated and people coming into contact with patients are stationed to work at separate locations and regularly monitored. The assessment was made at a virtual event to announce the report of Vanguard for Advancing the Australia-Vietnam Economic Relationship released by the Perth U.S. Centre on November 23. The report outlined that the Vietnamese economy is characterized by high-speed growth, open trade policies, and policy frameworks, all of which are designed to attract foreign investment. while the country's participation in the international economic architecture has been instrumental in its continued growth. This has therefore paved the way for the nation to become a preferred destination for firms seeking alternatives to China as a manufacturing hub under the so-called China Plus One strategy. The industrialization process represents an engine for continued high-speed growth of the kind that will propel the nation to join the ranks of the world's top 20 economies by 2050, the report noted. It also pointed out several attractive factors in the eyes of Australian investors, such as an ideal geographic gateway for international trade for the greater Ho Chi Minh City metropolitan region, available infrastructures such as ports, international airports, and the location of national LNG import infrastructure. More than 96% out of 1,412 companies located in industrial and export processing zones in Ho Chi Minh City have resumed operations with up to 80% of the total number of laborers back to work, according to Hoa Kwok Hung, Director of the Management Board of Ho Chi Minh City Export Processing Zones and Industrial Park Authority, HEPSA. The stability in the direction of the economy for more than a month has helped foster the investment inflow into the southern city. The investment capital in IZs in the locality, both new and additional investment, has so far this year reached $437 million, representing 80% of the year's plan. After the period of social distancing for COVID-19 pandemic prevention and control, a number of new foreign investors have contacted the management board to inquire into the investment licensing process and land leases for building new factories with large capital. He said one of those potential investors is looking to pour about $200 million in a lithium battery production project, which would cover 15 hectares in the northwest industrial park of the city. Nguyen Van Bie, president of the Association of Enterprises of Export Processing and Industrial Zones of Ho Chi Minh City, said the companies are ready to adapt to the new situation by ensuring the pandemic prevention and control measures are in place. The city's export processing zones and industrial parks are home to 1,652 valid investment projects with a total registered investment capital of $11.49 billion, including 556 FDI projects with registered capital of $6.63 billion. Ho Chi Minh City and 3 neighboring provinces will need state funding to complete a ring road to boost connectivity. Authorities of Ho Chi Minh, Binh Duong, Dong Nai, and Long An have agreed that they will request VND 83.3 trillion, $3.67 billion, in state support to complete Ring Road No. 3 that connects the southern metropolis with neighboring provinces, as proposed in a report submitted to the city administration Tuesday. Running more than 90 kilometers, 56 miles, Ring Road No. 3 will allow vehicles to travel to and from Binh Duong, Long An and Dong Nai without having to enter inner Ho Chi Minh City, according to a plan by the Ministry of Transport. Once complete, the ring road would have 8 lanes for vehicles to travel at 100 km/h aside from parallel roads on both sides. Ho Chi Minh's first metro route will get 4 more trains from Japan by next month to add to the 7 it has already received, its builder said Tuesday. The Ho Chi Minh City Management Authority for Urban Railways said 2 are slated to arrive at the Con Hoi Port in District 4 on November 28, and the other 2 on December 5. The 19.7 km route No. 1 from Ben Ton Market in District 1 to Swoi Tien Theme Park in Thursday Duc City will operate 17 trains, each with 3 cars, 61.5 meters long, and with a capacity of 930 passengers. They will run up to 110 km/h above ground and 80 km/h underground, to cost more than 43.7 trillion Vietnam dong, $1.89 billion. The system will have 14 stations, 3 underground and 11 on the surface, some elevated,